This grain doesn't just feed you, it can transform you.
Across rice-growing villages, families learned one lesson again and again. Food changes when you walk away.
Sometimes it becomes dangerous.
Sometimes it becomes a method.
Fermentation started as an accident and became a tradition. One cautious taste, and the household learns a rule that will outlive them.
But the first lesson is fear, because guessing wrong has consequences. Rot and fermentation can look similar until you learn the signs.
If it smells clean and sharp, it's alive the good way.
So you're not stopping nature, you're guiding it.
Exactly. Fermentation is controlled change.
Because food doesn't wait, and hunger doesn't negotiate.
When humans finally had enough, spoilage became the enemy. Time was stealing calories.
So humans made time work for them.
A pantry before pantries existed. Fermentation didn't create food, it protected it. That's why it spread, house by house, jar by jar. People didn't know microbes. They learned patterns, then taught them. The rules were simple and unforgiving.
Start clean, or you start trouble.
Your fingers remember, but I like numbers too. Tradition is data, collected for centuries. You can't see the workers, but you can hear them.
Preservation explains survival. Flavor explains why we kept doing it. Fermentation makes new flavors from the same ingredients.
Try. If you don't smile, you don't pay.
Sour wakes the mouth. Salt pulls you back.
And suddenly, cheap food tastes expensive. Inside the jar, food gets pre-digested molecules made smaller, flavors made deeper. Grain plus time becomes a new toolbox. Rice was perfect, abundant, storable, shareable. But rice needed a key. A living culture that unlocks sweetness. This is where starch becomes sugar. And sugar becomes something else.
That something else can season a whole cuisine.
Fermentation didn't just change food, it changed people.
A jar is a reason to gather.
Take some. Bring it back when it's ready. Uh-huh.
Sharing fermented food is sharing stability.
This is how civilization writes recipes. Observation. Food that survives travel becomes power. When staples become commodities, distance becomes normal.
Fermented foods ride along because they last.
Wherever rice goes, fermentation follows.
My sauce is older than my stall.
Then science arrived and confirmed what tradition already knew. Now we can finally see who's doing the work.
Wild ferments are stories. Starters are contracts.
Industry scaled fermentation into certainty.
Same principles: clean, timed, controlled.
It's perfect, but it feels quieter.
Quiet jars make safe food. Loud jars make stories. Fermentation is powerful, and power needs rules. Not every jar is a good jar.
When in doubt, don't taste. Respect the risk.
But when it's right, it's one of humanity's best tricks.
It makes food last longer and taste deeper.
So why did humans learn fermentation? Because it kept families alive.
Because it fed crowded cities.
Because it survived travel.
And because it tasted so good, we never stopped.
It's chemistry you can eat. Now, back to the rice we left behind. This is where the story began, an everyday moment, repeated for generations.
3 ways to judge one jar.
Clean sour. Not rotten.
Alive, but not angry.
Stable enough to be food.
And suddenly the accident becomes a recipe because someone writes it down and someone else remembers.
That motion, salt, cover, wait, became culture.
Food becomes meaning when it lasts long enough to be shared.
And what we preserve
shapes who grows up strong.
Even now, fermentation hides in plain sight. Old knowledge, new tools, same purpose.
Fields read jars. Jars feed cities. Cities feed history.
A grain becomes a world when time and microbes collaborate. Fermentation saved food, then made it unforgettable. Subscribe for the next story of why humans eat.